Good evening, good evening, good evening, Lupus All Stars. This is June the 12th, 2017, and this is the third episode of the Lupus All Stars podcast. I looking over some notes, noticing that throughout the last two podcasts I didn't really explain anything in regards to what lupus is and how it could possibly affect you. So this podcast is dedicated to a little bit of education in regards to lupus. As I stated, I believe in the first podcast, I am a 27-year lupus survivor. I was diagnosed with lupus at the age of 17 in 1990. Now, the type of lupus I had is called SLE or systemic lupus. The last word, I cannot pronounce it, so you can look it up. Again, SLE. Now, this is lupus is basically an autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system mistakenly attacks healthy tissue in many parts of the body. In other words, your immune system is killing, more or less fighting itself, which leaves us open to whatever disease or infection virus that is out there. Now, some of the symptoms of lupus, SLE basically, are what the common, symptoms are painful and swollen joints, fever, chest pain, hair loss, mouth ulcers, swollen lymph nodes, and of course the classic butterfly rash. I guess for me, my symptoms were the classic butterfly rash, painful and swollen joints. I always had very bad knees, and it just got worse over time. With everything. Now, I don't know if people know that there's more than one type of lupus, and of course, one is SLE, systemic lupus, that involves your entire system in your body, as well as discoid lupus, which is basically the type of lupus that attacks your skin. Neonatal lupus, this is something new that I just found out within, I want to say, the last 5 years, that this is a type of lupus that infants born with SLE, and it's how can in my psyche, a baby being born with this disease, just right out the gate and having to be treated aggressively, it's a little disturbing. That's one of them. And then there's subacute cutaneous lupus, which is, it says it basically is often presents in white women age 15 to 40, and it's basically skin lesions that are scaly and involve as it turns into basically plaque psoriasis. So that's something that I didn't even know. What I've researched throughout the years is that lupus mutates from rheumatoid arthritis, and that, I guess, that's the whole connection with knees and joints and that thing. The things that aggravate lupus, of course, is stress, sunlight, smoking, and things like that. Unfortunately, in the summer, you have to make sure that you are well protected against the sun, because it does do bad things to your skin, as well as not just your skin, but the heat can really drain your system. As far as from my perspective, right now in Chicago, on this very day, it's 94 degrees out, and it's approximately 7:14 in the evening, and it's still 94 degrees out. I do work, so therefore I am exhausted right now because I've been out all day in this heat. which is not good for any lupus patient, regardless if you have systemic lupus or discoid. You have to make sure that you have something covering your head and things like that at all times. What in regards to doing the research that I've done with people that have SLE or systemic lupus, systemic lupus increases cardiovascular disease. Again, finally, I want to say, I believe it was in 2001 or 2001, it finally attacked my heart. After all those years, it attacked my heart. And I was on 3 different medications for my heart, and I'm no longer on that because my heart muscle just got better and things just worked out that way. Of course, one of the side effects of lupus due to medication is diabetes. Things happen, but you got to take that medication. If some people say, well, why don't you use herbs and things like that. I chose to go the doctor route because I just trusted my doctor. I had all my trust in him because that's who God gave to me to trust at the time, and so I'm going with what he feels that I should do. And luckily enough, I had a great doctor. I noticed that with what I went through with lupus, there was a lot of fatigue, and that was due to being severe anemic. And that plays a major role in everything. As some people feel as though lupus only attacks those who are African American or Latino. From what I'm finding out now is that it's doesn't matter who it attacks anymore. I've come across a number of Caucasian women that know a family member or themselves are dealing with lupus. I know yesterday, Sunday, June the 11th, I went to the Lupus Walk in downtown Chicago. Again, it was 90 plus degrees, so I tried my best to stay, but yet it was very hot, and I'm not sure how many lupus patients were able to continue to do that walk, but yet it was kind of bad. And I did meet this older Caucasian woman, and as we're sitting there, she is going through a flare right in front of me because of the heat. She developed a butterfly rash within 10 minutes. She looked like she was just in a flare. I did not get her phone number, but I do have her email address. I have to reach out to her tonight to just see how she's feeling, because I know this morning for me to wake up, it was daunting, but I had to go to work, so it was imperative. But yet I know what the heat and the sun, how it just takes all your energy away. I know with the medication that I'm on, still, I'm never going to get off prednisone, but that's one of the medications that doctors normally use to combat the lupus symptoms and things of that nature. Prednisone hurts just as much as it helps, for the simple fact that I'm never going to get off of prednisone now, and so my adrenal gland is not working. Therefore, I develop diabetes. So it's always a catch-22, because once your doctors fix one thing with one medication, then they have to treat the side effect of that medication with another medication. So it's just a vicious cycle that lupus puts you on. So it's always helps to have a very open mind, have a faithful spirit. You have to have something in you to say, okay, I got this disease now. I just gotta live my life, because this is the only life we got, and you can get through this disease. Looking through all these notes that I have in regards to lupus and how it affects this and that. I have an enlarged kidney due to lupus. It works fine, but yet, of course, again, the medication as well as the disease has done that to me. Like I said, it affected my heart. It also, I had a side effect disease, I guess you could say, called vasculitis, which the veins in my brain are very small, so it's very hard for blood to flow through. And with that being said, that's what led to the 3 strokes. And it's not always that easy to pinpoint exactly what disease is going to pop up and what other doctor you need to see besides a rheumatologist when you're dealing with lupus. I had severe migraines that were the result of the vasculitis, and it was now that was an uphill battle after all that, but then that just added on another doctor that I had to see for the issues with the migraines. And so of course I had a neurologist that was on call for me all the time, because these headaches would get so incredibly bad that it was a bit much. Of course, with any disease, you may have anxiety. That's just one side effect, I believe, of any disease, as well as depression. Any disease, you're going to have a little depression going on. As I was saying, with any disease, you're going to have a little depression. The anxiety might get a little bit, a little bad. It just happens. And again, during the research that I've come across, people seem not to understand sometimes you get angry or you have mood swings. If you're on prednisone, let them know that is a side effect of prednisone, and no, you're not using it as an excuse. It happens. As a matter of fact, it's called steroid psychosis. It can make you feel laughing 1 minute, crying the next minute. That's just the way prednisone is. And I have no idea how that happens, but with the prolonged use of prednisone, there is a possibility that you can develop brittle bones, which means over the course of the years, I've been on prednisone for 27 years. My doctors have always said, if you fall, you're going to break something. I have 2 cats. I fall all the time. So haven't broken anything, but I do know when the lupus was super active in my body, I was at work and my kneecap exploded. And so that was just a reminder, hey, this is what prednisone does to your bones as well. It can also erode your muscle tone and things of that nature. It just depends on what lupus wants to do once it's active in your system. I know a lot of people that have been diagnosed with lupus, they can't have children. I can't have children. In a way, I'm kind of okay with that, for the simple fact that I don't know if I could watch my child go through anything that I went through. How my mom did it is beyond me, but she's a mom, so that's how she dealt with it. I'm her baby, so that was all she needed to do. So right now, this is the part 1 of the 3rd episode of Lupus All Stars. When I come back, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information in regards to the stem cell transplant and how it was successful for me. It was very successful. I'll be coming up on my 15-year lupus 15-year lupus free anniversary next May in 2018. So come back. I'll be right back with you guys with a little bit more information in regards to the stem cell transplant. Be right back.